So even though, and oh, first of all, welcome to the Way of the Empath. So I just want to remind you all that even though we like to think that the world will go a certain way or things are going to be a certain way, we have to remember that even though people like to say it's optional to heal, no, it's not. It's never optional. It's forced on us. Because if we don't change the way that we live our lives and heal, then we will have problems. So it's not optional. I mean, it's not optional to not have problems and not heal. You have to heal, and if you don't, you have problems. 1, 2 work exactly together. They're not separate. And I want to be clear about that because over the years, I have had to fight. So the answer is these people will come in and they will, they create a war is what happens. They fight. Instead of changing, they choose to fight, which means that they do end up changing. They just do it in a really unhealthy manner. And men do it more than women. Men are very aggressive, and they always use this monopoly on violence to attack and to blame and to shame. And it's because they lack empathy. That's not a masculine trait to have empathy. So when we look at the world and we look at the problems that we have in the current world structure and people pretending that things are not going to change or that things are okay. There's a lot of people who like to deny and say things are okay, and definitely things are not okay. That's only awareness. People who are ignorant think things are okay, but if you're actually aware, then you know that things aren't okay. They're not okay. They need to be fixed. And the empath, among all of this craziness, is that the empath is aware where no one else is aware. So the empath is always aware where no one else is aware. And that's why they're always blamed for the problems that are happening around them, because they're the ones who actually see and they pay attention and they're actually aware. Go ahead, sir. And they're actually aware of things that are happening, whereas other people are not. Now that's really important to say that here, because the wars that are going on are because people don't want to heal. There's the people who don't want to heal are always the ones who fight against people who do. People who don't want to heal are always fighting against people who do. And so the reason they're fighting is because they're victimizing someone in order not to heal. Because if you look closely at what's happening, more closely than what you think here, if you look closely enough, you can see that there's a bullying going on, which is the one who's attacking the other. And then there is the situation where the person is having to defend themselves. So right now I'm going to just, I'm at the store and I'm having to cash some things out here, check some things out. So let's see, this is, okay, 1. So I got collards. So collards are very alkalizing. Dark green leafy vegetable, things that people don't generally eat, because people eat animal products and that's very violent, and that's why they're so aggressive. Because if you don't eat animal products, you remove the aggression from your body. And that's really important, actually, because this is the difference between people who are non-violent, the vegans, and people who are violent, the carnists. And that's really important to acknowledge that to my viewers here today on this message. And that, since there's so many, since carnism is so widely accepted, that it's just considered normal. It's normal day-to-day life to be someone who's quite hateful and aggressive. I mean, look at the movies out there. Look at all the stuff. People enjoy this kind of thing, you know. So it's really important to acknowledge that, because we can't get anywhere without acknowledging how the problems that are happening right now in the world. And so because there's this monopoly on violence, yes, monopoly on violence by all the aggressors out there, that have control over things because they use aggression. And we need to acknowledge that as well, because that's very, very important to be aware of how this monopoly on violence has instilled certain leadership in the world and put us in a very unhealthy, unsavory position for humanity at large. So let me just see. So the battles are, it's the one who doesn't want to heal and is bullying because they don't want to heal, which are like more like the earthy signs, because often earth signs tend to be big bullies. People who have a lot of earth in their chart tend to be the bullies. And the people who, and I'm not, this is generalizing because of course there's X factors, but generally the earth signs are the ones who don't want to heal. They're the ones who push back. They're the ones who try to hide their problems, and they try to make it look like to the world that they're normal, but they really are just extremely greedy. And their greed is what's actually causing most of the problems in their life, is greed. So it's greed that makes them attack somebody else, because they could usually find some way of hurting somebody and getting money for it somehow. That's where that greed is coming in. So let me just look here. I'm keeping you guys on because the main thing with this channel is about being very, very honest and open about how the world is, and saying, even right now, like, I'm here, I'm doing this, when you're living fully in the world and you're not someone who's messed up and mentally and emotionally disturbed, you end up being the one who works harder than anybody else. But then in the interim, when people are problematic around you, like when the moon is waning like it is right now, where a lot of people start getting stressed out, and the reason they're stressed is because they need to be drinking twice as much. They need to be drinking twice as much. I'll say that one more time. They need to be drinking twice as much. And because they're unaware of how to treat their body properly, and that's really important, because if our body is not working properly, just like think of a night when you didn't sleep well, okay? You didn't sleep well, so the next day you were a mess, right? Well, just imagine people who have been that way for a really long time. And then you have these moon cycles, and then you have the need to drink more, to be more hydrated. And then you have that en masse. You calculate that by lots and lots of people, then you got a mess on your hands. And that's what the problem is because people are ignorant to how they're supposed to take care of themselves, and then they go out and do really horrible things around the waning moon, which they get away with a lot of the time because people are too busy fighting, or maybe not fighting their demons. A lot of them are actually giving in to their demonic strongholds, like addictions and things like that. And that puts them in a place where okay, where people that are evil have the upper hand, like the darkened ones, the people that don't have anyone's good in mind. They only have their selfishness. They only want something for themselves, to be selfish, to do something selfishly over doing the right thing. So I can see this just every single month because I'm an empath. As an empath, we actually see it, we watch it, we see how crazy people are. We notice it. We're very well aware of it. We try to change it in whatever way we can by at least educating people on what they're doing, because a lot of people are so unaware of their own behavior. They don't know any better. Excuse me. Shireen left that for me, I think. Shireen left this one for me. Shireen? Jessica would know.
Hey, Jessica.
This is from Shireen, right? Okay. Thank you. Yep. Oh, yeah, it saes Ina on there. Okay. Thank you, guys. Uh-oh. Ina. So, it's an important distinction to make about this, because when you have this understanding of things the way that I do, in a way that nobody else does, or very few people, it puts us in a bracket where we have to be very protective of ourselves, because we're surrounded by crazy people. Like, I know they drive these cars, they look this way, but they're crazy. It doesn't matter, they're crazy, because craziness is so widespread in the world today that it doesn't even seem crazy anymore. You could say it's like the new normal, you know? I see that crazy guy over there. I'm able to see people from my back. I see them looking at me, I see them, but it's way worse than that, guys. It's not just that these people are looking at me, okay? It's way more than that. It's not that these people are looking at me, okay? It's that these people these people planned to attack me, and they are looking to scapegoat me. And it's the new moonish time, so the waning moon is when they really go after their scapegoats. Because that's when they really get stressed out, and right before there's bills that need to be paid, and people need to keep, they're addicts. They're addicts. And as addicts, they're looking at how to feed their next addiction, to hide away from what is important to them. And it's very, very dangerous. So I'm going to go and feed my birds now, but I have these birds that need help. You guys okay? I know. That was hard. But you made it though, didn't you? Yeah, I know. You guys want something to eat? I know. Let me give you a cherry. Bella. Marina, it's a cherry. Now see, you're just thirsty. Suki, you want a cherry too? Cherry berry? Here, cherry berry. Cherry berry. A little cherry berry. Okay, here. So I like some of the things that Dr. Gabor Mate says about, here. Oh, you almost did. You almost did. You good girl. What'd you guys do with that other one, huh? Yeah, I know. It's okay. Yeah, good girl. Okay, well, go get it then. Go take it for you. Suki? Ready? Look. Oh, go get it, Belle. Still, Belle. Lila, this one's for you. Did Stell take that one away? Here, Suki. Here, Suki. What did it say? Okay. All right. So, anyway, yes, the way of the empath. It really is about doing something different than other people are doing, because there's so few of us that have actually healed, and it's really important that we acknowledge that, because we have a world of tremendous suffering. We have a world of tremendous suffering. I mean, it's like it just goes on and on and on, and people just continue to keep abusing each other, and continue to keep saying it's okay to abuse each other, and continue to keep abusing each other, and they make excuses for abusing each other. They make outright excuses for abusing each other. And so this whole, Suki, I'm throwing this away, because that's really old. Here, sir. Okay? They make excuses for abusing each other. It's so bad that there's so many levels and layers of this abuse. There's so many layers of this tapestry of abuse. I mean, it's just